So MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell last week, of course, as we all know, sadly did not win his election to be the next chair of the Republican National Committee, and we're all very sad about that. But don't worry, folks, because Mike Lindell told Steve Bannon this week that he has apparently been given a consolation prize, and he is now going to be running what he called an election crime unit at the Republican National Committee. So we're talking about an election crime unit that is no longer being operated by Mike Lindell on his own. This one, that, by the way, yes, is going to look into the 2020 election, is going to have the full backing of the Republican Party. Now, here is what Mike Lindell said to Steve Bannon this week. I'll have a plan where all of you can get involved going forward. And I'm going to be going to states, Steve. I'm not missing a beat. Starting this week, I'm going to be flying into at least 3 states. We need to hold the RNC accountable. They did say I will work with Mike Lindell. I can't wait to work with Mike Lindell. Well, when you work with me, it's election crime. Check your phrasing there, bud. Not a weak word like election integrity. It's called the election crime. Later in the week, we're setting up the election crime unit, Steve, so everybody stay tuned. It's going to be big. Now, I don't know how honest Mike Lindell is being here, right? Is this something that is really going to be taking place within the RNC? Is it going to have access to their funding, to their email apparatus, to all of that? Because if so, the Republican Party probably needs to go ahead and lawyer up. Here's why. If Mike Lindell goes out and about, this time as an official, I guess, with the Republican Party, then everything he says from that point forward is an official RNC-sponsored statement. He is no longer operating on his own. He is, in fact, a massive legal liability. He's just shifting that legal liability from himself onto the National Party. So if he goes out there and repeats any of the claims that have already gotten him sued from Dominion and Smartmatic, Dominion and Smartmatic would then at that point be able to go ahead and add the RNC into that $1.3 billion lawsuit. All he has to do is make those statements once as an official with the RNC, and boom, they're in the lawsuit too. So I can't imagine that the Republican National Committee would actually do this. They have to know that that liability exists, and all it takes, again, is one time. He says those things, repeats those things one time as a member of the RNC. They're in those lawsuits as well. Maybe they are that stupid. Maybe they're just trying to pander so hard to him and the people who think the 2020 election was stolen that they're willing to take on that risk. It's not a smart move. Like, the reward is certainly not worth the risk for them. But if what Mike Lindell is saying is true, then the Republican Party itself is about to be in massive legal problems, and that's probably not going to help them, being sued for $1.3 billion when we're about to start a 2024 presidential cycle where they're going to need every dollar they've got. But if he ropes them into this lawsuit by saying stupid stuff on their behalf, they may not be able to spend any of that money because they're going to have to tuck it away, perhaps under the orders of the court, so that they have enough money to pay off those companies if they get a judgment against them. There's a lot of ifs happening there, but based on what we've seen from Mike Lindell, again, assuming he's telling the truth, those ifs almost become a certainty, assuming what he told Steve Bannon is accurate. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.